What's going on, guys? I wanted to put together a quick video going over my battle belt setup. I spent a fair amount of time researching the different components and how I wanted to do it, watching videos from Hop and a bunch of other guys, and going through the various subreddits and Facebook groups to see what components I thought were going to work so that I could get quality stuff right off the rip, kind of buy once, cry once, and not have to repeat the mistakes of a bunch of other people going through and spending a bunch of money on redundant gear that ends up in a box somewhere. And after taking a couple classes with this, I think I did pretty well with it. Starting with the inner belt, I got the T.REX arms inner. There's really nothing fancy about this. These are more or less all the same. It's got a nice rubberized outside with obviously the Velcro inside and the regular speed hook. You don't need anything super fancy. It's just designed to go through your belt loops and keep the outer belt attached. This worked just fine. You don't have to get the same brand from the same company. I got this based on availability and when I was already ordering other stuff. As far as other stuff from T.REX, I have the Ragnarok holster. I know a lot of people are rocking like the Safariland, retention ones. I'm just using this for flat range classes. I didn't have any issues with running around, getting in and out of vehicles or anything like that. I know I've heard of some people saying they've had their guns fall out of these. I've had it. I looked in my email to calculate the receipts since 2019. Haven't run into that issue. The retention's adjustable, so just tighten it if you're having that kind of issue. The T.REX inner belt to start, and I can tally it up like I said, it was 43 bucks. The big expense here is the actual outer belt core itself, which in this case I got the AXL Eclipse. So this is one of the kind of newer, more modern ones. It's primarily made out of a Trex material, and then the Velcro is right on the inside there. There's a lot of different attachment methods that I'm sure if you research, your head was starting to spin. I wanted to keep it simple, and it seems like it's also the cheapest and best option these days. So all this stuff is on here with the Velcro one wrap, which is basically free. It's like $5 for a huge roll. You probably won't even use it all. Starting with the AXL belt too, I ended up getting this one with the add-on that is a Cobra buckle. They have 3 different buckles. You can save a substantial amount of money. So this was 170 bucks after shipping and tax and whatever. If you just get their regular like speed hook, I forget what they call it, buckle like what's on the T.REX inner, it's only $116. So you don't have to get the Cobra buckle. It's just a convenience factor. These are kind of already annoying to get on and off if you have to use the bathroom or something. So I opted to get that Cobra buckle, but that's a good area where you can save a good chunk of change. As far as what else is on here from T.REX, I also ordered their thigh strap. If you're running any sort of mid-ride holster, anything that's not directly at the belt level, you're gonna want that. Theirs is really nice. It has some swivel with the way that it attaches to the QLS and the CUBL, so that's really nice and comfortable. Works out, keeps the holster from flopping off your thigh. Again, if you're doing a more minimal holster, depending on the ride height of the gun, you can maybe get away with not having that, but it's something that I would definitely suggest doing. And they're cheap, 17 bucks. If you don't like it, just take it off. The Ragnarok, I went over that. I've had that for quite some time, like 65 bucks. And then the CUBL, the mid-ride here, they're 25 bucks. They make some other ones that are like milled out of aluminum and some other crazy systems, and they kind of attach better. What you can do if you just want to rock the CUBL is like I did. You can just run a couple of zip ties, and I also have a one wrap cut in half behind there to keep this from moving. It's not going to shift on you. It's not going to move at all. So that's the belt basics. As far as what's on there, in the very front, I took a little piece of one wrap and I had an extra HK hook from a little single point sling that came with my MP5K. Not a fan of single point slings. I cut this off and threw it out. If you want to get one of these, they sell them. You can buy them all sewn up and nice, but like I said, I just used the one wrap, and you can get one of those HK slings from like Blue Force Gear for like 10 bucks if you go on Amazon. The pouches. These are the Kywi, the S-Tack Kiwis, so they have that little bit of plastic or Kydex on the inside. I like that for that little bit of retention. It's the same kind of setup I have on my chest rig. These guys, this is their double gap, 41 bucks for this setup for the 2 of these. It's one piece. And then this is the single laminate. It's the diaper one, so it has the bottom, and it is mid-length, which is how much of the magazine is going to be inside of it. 34 bucks directly from STAC. As far as the IFAC on here, this one I got from Flatline Fiber, and pretty expensive piece of kit for what it is. It was an $85 pouch, so I already had all the contents for this. If you don't have a bunch of extra medical supplies sitting around, you can get one of these pre-filled from them for $165. Again, but if you already have a bunch of IFAC stuff that you want to put in here, or you have something different from what they want to use, you can just fill that yourself and you can buy just the pouch. I also got their little tourniquet holder, which attaches behind here and kind of hangs below. Gives you room for some elastic for a stage tourniquet and a marker. And then also to keep the size down, because I'm a smaller guy, I don't have as much room for all the various attachments as some people. Depending on your size, you're going to have more or less room. I have the Flatline Fiber, is it the mini or the micro? It is the mini dump pouch. So this guy rolls up when you're not using it, and when you are, it comes right out. Useful to, if you're doing flat range stuff, you know why I need a dump pouch. Moving on, I already kind of covered the CUBL QLS. What I don't think I mentioned is that you don't necessarily need the QLS system. It's the fork that allows the holsters to go on there. If you're not changing all the time which gun you're going to use, if you just have one gun that you're going to use on this setup, you can just mount these holsters with the 3 bolts directly to the CUBL. This T.REX material, again, I ordered a medium. I ended up having a lot of extra, and it was kind of annoying because when you're putting this together, you have to thread it through after the buckles clip through this other little retention loop so that it's not going all crazy. And if you have like 10 extra inches or however much you have, it can be a bit of a chore to thread it through while you're trying to keep the Velcro attached to your inner and then get the outside Cobra belt clipped on there. So I just trimmed that with, I think I did it with like an X-Acto knife, and then I threw some tape on here just to keep that T.REX material from delaminating. I'll throw in some other clips here from using the belt. The one thing I will say, I know there's some flatter options for the IFACs, but I did a couple drills sitting in a car. It wasn't exactly comfortable, but it wasn't, stopping my ability to move or get out of the vehicle. So just stuff to keep in mind. The mag pouches, again, they're fine for just flat range stuff. Total cost was pretty crazy when I added this up. I did not think it was this much. It was $571.94 with shipping and tax and all those other fees to put this together. I ordered stuff from AXL, T.REX, Amazon, STAC, and Flatline. So if you can try to consolidate as much of the stuff and order it from 1 or 2 vendors, you'll probably save a little bit of money on the shipping. But yeah, $571, it would be an additional cost if you had to fill that IFAC yourself. Other fees I didn't mention in there, like the HK hook and the 1-wrap and just like the odds and ends that I already had. But yeah, overall, I'm super happy with it. It works. I don't think I need to make any changes, at least anything major, for what I'm using it for. It's just for kind of taking some basic classes and messing around on the flat range. So if you want to get any of this stuff or it looks interesting, I'll put the actual product codes and the prices in the description, and you can look up those vendors yourself. I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that, so you'll have to just do some Googling. I put this together probably about 6 months ago, so the prices may have changed since then. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, hell yeah!
Sick!